Okay, 1 second. Do you want to start off and introduce ourselves and then where we're at, or do you want me to?
I can do it. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome to USA Powerlifting. We are here at the Arnold Sports Festival. My name is David Garcia, and I am joined by the great Kathy Marksteiner.
Good afternoon, everyone. USA Powerlifting is proud to present the Grand Prix, which is one of our levels of pro athletes. We've got 15 laughters, 15 lifters. 8 in the first flight, 7 in the second flight. We're kicking off the squats now. Let's go to that video.
It's going to be a great show today, ladies and gentlemen. Columbus, Ohio, Arnold Sports Festival. We are rocking and rolling. Here we go. You can take that one off. Yeah, and then
Squats have started. Ariel Patra is the next lifter on the platform. Ariel's asked for 135 kilos. $135 kilos is 297.5 pounds. And Ariel is lifting in the 52 kilo class. The 52 kilo class is under 115 pounds. She's on the platform. She's gotten the signal to squat from the chief referee. The bar is back in the rack, and now we're waiting for the 3 referees to give their signal. David, why don't we talk about the rules of squat?
Absolutely.
What makes a good squat?
Yeah, absolutely. So, a couple of things that the referees, and please correct me, piggyback off anything I say, but basically, in this squat, you are going to get a total of 2 commands. On these 2 commands, the athlete's going to stand up with the weight. They're going to walk it out. They're going to get ready. You're going to get a squat command from the chief referee. That head referee will give you that. You go down. You will hit depth according to the rule book, which is, Kathy, go ahead and tell us the depth rule.
The top surface of the leg at the hip joint must go below the top of the knee. And on the platform right now, we've got Mariah Bolden, and she is doing 147.5 kilos or 325 pounds. And Mariah came in the 56 kilo class, and that's under 123 pounds.
Correct. So, once you hit that depth, you come back up, you hold it nice and steady, fully locked out. Then you'll get the final command, which will be a rack command. You'll walk it in nice and controlled, and that is the end and completion of your lift as an athlete.
So the reasons why you might not you can complete the lift, but not do it according to the rules. And one of those is you did not make the required depth. The other is your knees were not locked out at the beginning or the end of the squat. I'm going to stop for just a second. Bria Williams is on the platform right now, and she is coached by her brother, Marcellus Williams, the swole doctor. That was a good opener at 150 kilos. That's 330 pounds. And Bria, too, is in the 56 kilo class or 123. So the other reasons why you might not get a good lift if you did not meet the technical rules, You did not wait for the referee's signals or
Correct.
mother may I,
Correct.
as I frequently tell the lifters. It's like, please wait. They'll tell you when to squat, then you do it. They'll tell you when to rack, then you do it. If you jump those commands, it is unfortunately, even everything else was good, it is a no lift. On the platform, who do we have now?
So now we have Charcy 8th. She is also a coach as well. She was actually coaching yesterday. She will get 2 white lights on her opening attempt. Of 155 kilos.
So we have 3 referees that are seated around the platform. Although they might seem that they are all in the front of the platform, they're all from different perspectives. We've got one from the left, one from the right, and one in the center, the chief referee who gives the signals. On the platform right now, Maya Wright at 157.5 kilos, 347 pounds.
All right, here we go. Come on, Maya. I'm sorry, Charlie
Maya
Leonard.
got 3 white lights. Maya is a newlywed.
Really?
Flew in from Hawaii. Her husband is active duty with the Army.
All the way from
and
Hawaii.
they flew
I
all the
love
way
it.
in. And she said she never did sports before powerlifting.
Wow.
She was always into the arts. And then her CrossFit gym that just opened. And when she got there, she found out she's very competitive, and she enjoyed lifting heavy.
Of course, I don't
So
blame her.
she has found powerlifting. She says squat is her trickiest, but her favorite. On the platform right now is Charlie Leonard.
Charlie Leonard.
This is 165 kilos, 363 pounds. Okay, we have finished the opening attempt for these 8 lifters. We're now moving to the second attempt. Everyone made their opening attempt. Oh, I'm sorry. Emily Cooker.
Emily Cooker
This
will be
is
our
our
final
junior lifter from Michigan. And a junior is anywhere from the age of 20 up till the night before they turn 24.
Yes.
Great depth.
Emily Cooker.
Great
yes.
depth. That's the kind of execution we as a referee love, because there's no doubt you came out, you executed
Correct.
according to the rules, and it just makes it so easy. Instant.
All right, Jaslyn Pepper West, second attempt, 137.5 kilos on her second attempt.
Jasleen is with Team Fueled, and she's one of their coaches. And she wanted to give a shout out to her husband, Justin, who's handling her today.
Yep.
He's in his 4th year of medical school,
That's
and he's
amazing.
just recently chosen his specialty as he moved forward.
Solid second attempt. Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights. Moving on to Ariel Patra. She will be attempting 142.5 kilos.
Ariel is, she weighed in the lightest
Yeah, she did.
of all of our lifters at only 51 kilos.
Come on, Ariel.
So you can have a little bit of help taking the bar out of the rack. She's taking a couple of steps back. She's stabilizing, setting her feet, locking her knees. Now she's looked up That's a signal to the chief referee. I'm ready.
Great looking squat.
Nice and
3
controlled.
white lights.
3 white lights. Let's see this again. Again, the reference for depth is very simple. The top surface of the leg at the hip joint must go below the top of the knee. We're not watching for how far the bar moves. We're watching the hips and the knees. So if the knees really shoot forward, that makes it a lot harder for the hips to go down.
Maria Bolden, she will be attempting 155 kilos. This is her second attempt. She is rocking the A7 singlet. Special thank you to A7, sponsoring a lot of the events here at the Arnold Sports Festival. Depth looked fantastic on that one.
This is Mariah's 4th Arnold. She is a very seasoned competitor. She's been to 5 different Raw Nationals. She holds state records in the state of Washington in the 56 and the kilo class as a junior and an open. She took first place in her weight class at the 2023 Raw Nationals. Charlize Wythe is on the platform, 162.5 kilos, 358 pounds.
Come on, Churchy.
Her best ever is 170, so this is about 15 pounds less than that, 7.5 kilos. And that was a good lift.
Moving on to Bria Williams. Attempting the exact same weight, no weight change.
So the question is, we've got 2 lifters with the same weight, 162.5 kilos on the bar. How do you figure out who's going to go first? You have to have some order. So we assign a lot number at the beginning of the competition. And that is a randomly assigned number so that when you have 2 or more lifters that have asked for the same weight on the bar, the lowest lot number will go first.
All right, Williams taking 162.5, and it's a good lift.
She got 3 white lights on that lift. Up next is going to be Maya Wright. Again, our traveler from Ohio. I'm sorry.
From Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hawaii.
we're in Ohio.
Yeah. Maya Wright. She's making the jump to 170 kilos. Which is 374 pounds.
Nicely done. 3 white lights for Maya.
Very nice. Very nice.
Charlie Leonard is our lifter now. 172.5 kilos, 380 pounds. She weighed in at just 59.1 kilos, less than the 60 kilo top. So she's around 130 pounds altogether. Nicely done, nicely done. Okay, she did get one red light, and the referees must indicate why they gave a no lift. That the one referee gave a no lift with a red card, and that indicates that she did not meet the required depth of the technical rules. Up next at the same weight is Emily Cooker, our junior out of Michigan. And again, this is where it comes into the lot number.
That is correct.
The lowest lot number
Yep.
goes first. So we have two lifters at the same weight.
So Emily Cooker, 172.5. Let's see what the judges think. 2-1. Okay, good enough to move on.
The
for that
chief
third.
referee gave a yellow, which that means that they could do of many things. But usually it means you did not wait for the referee's signals. All right, we're starting our third attempts at this time. Jaslyn Pepper West from Georgia is on the platform. She's asked for 142.5.
Correct.
Her lifetime best ever is 137.5. This is a 5 kilo increase, or about 11 pounds. She looked happy with that. Now we wait for the referee's decisions.
All right, up next, Ariel. She is not shy to the big stage. She knows all about it. She's competed at all the big meets. Rightfully so.
Ariel is trained as a scientist, and she just recently stepped away from her science job as a DNA biomarker technologist. She was helping to test little cells in case there was an advancement in oncology drugs or something else like that. This will tie Ariel's personal lifetime best.
Ariel Patra. Wow.
All right, who's up next?
Up next, we're going to have Maria Bolden, okay? Maria Bolden is now taking it from 155 kilos to now 162.5, making a 7.5 pound kilo jump.
Oh, but more importantly, this is a 10 kilo jump over her personal best of
very nice.
152. So 22 pounds she's going to be adding. So while she gets underneath that bar, I'm going to do her shout out to her husband, Mackenzie, and their corgi at home, Shepherd, and as well as her goddaughter, her niece, Haley. So Mariah is on the platform. She's gotten the signal to squat, fighting it out through that chest up so that it kept going.
There.
And what that does is it brings the bar back over the hips. 3 white lights.
Yeah. Fantastic attempt. All right, up next, Williams. She'll be attempting 167.5. Good catch on the spotters. That is our no lift, but we will be moving on to Miss Ice on her third attempt of 170 kilos. She always brings the intensity.
This will tie her personal best at 170 kilos, 374 pounds.
Come on. Drive, 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 grind it out, grind it out. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's what's up. Very nice. Well done. 3 white lights. Well deserved. Ah, such a beautiful attempt. Beautiful grind. Did not quit. She deserved every bit of that attempt. I am so incredibly proud of these athletes who give it their all. Maya Wright up next. Come on, Maya. She will be attempting 173, which is a record.
It is, but I don't know if it is an American
believe
record
it is
or
a
a
record.
world record. So let's check that out.
It would have to be in the 56 kilo weight class, 56 kilo weight class.
She's chipping the world record
The
standard.
world record?
It stands at 172.5.
All right.
So she has asked for 173 kilos.
And she does it. She does it with ease, ladies and gentlemen.
In the 56 kilo class,
Maya Wright.
the 123 pound.
Maya Wright, ladies and gentlemen. Now, something to remind everyone is this competition is all about dot score. So, having the highest total in your weight class technically does not matter, due to the fact that we are looking for the highest dot score. Here we go. Charlie Leonard.
175 kilos. This is 385 pounds. And Charlie is lifting in the 60 kilo class.
No lift.
132. She got a no lifter on all 3 referees with a yellow card.
This is our final lifter.
And then we're going to move into the next flight.
Final lifter of Flight D, which is our first flight of the Grand Prix.
At the same weight, 175 kilos, is going to be Emily Cooker, our junior out of Michigan.
Cooker cooking it up. Cooking it up. It's good. Wow. Unbelievable. So much grit. What a fighter. We love to see it.
Emily owns
She
all
even,
of the Michigan
even she was
junior
shocked.
records.
All right, we're on flight E.
Yes.
Moving on to flight E.
This is Brandis Dye.
Dye?
Dye.
Okay.
Brandis Dye at 177.5 kilos. She's lifting in the 82.5 kilo class. Kira Wilson on the platform right now. Kira's from Saginaw, Michigan. That was a good lift at 187.5 kilos. This is 413 pounds. We're going to an even 200.
Even 200.
An even 200 is 440 pounds.
Yep.
Nicolette Ziegler. Nicolette on her opener is only opening 10 kilos below her best ever. So ladies and gentlemen at home, you have 3 squats, 3 benches, and 3 deadlifts. And you bring the best of those 3 different lifts together for a total. Usually you compete in weight classes, and that was a good lift for Nicolette. But as David said, we are not competing based on weight classes today.
Correct.
We are competing based on dots.
Dot score, which is basically a coefficient, a formula, if you will, that puts your body weight into perspective along with how much you're lifting for that day. And we come out with something special at the end. Don't ask me the math because I will not be able to translate it for you.
It's very simple. It really is.
Okay, go ahead.
It's really simple. It's one of the questions that has mystified man forever. Oh, let's stop and watch. Eric Lapointe
Who do we have?
on the
Eric
platform.
Lapointe, yes. Who, if I'm not mistaken, is he a national champion?
He is a 8-time national championship.
227.5. Let the people know. My man.
And up next is going to be Lorenzo Wright. And Lorenzo is out of South Carolina. It's his 2nd time to the Arnold. He's been here 4 times at Nationals. So the dot score, as I said, one of the age-old questions that's mystified man forever. Who's the strongest guy?
Correct.
Is it the guy who is a lightweight, but he's doing 10 times his body weight?
That's crazy.
Or is it the guy who moves the most absolute weight? And so the coefficient is trying to mathematically even it and balance it out.
Correct.
It's trying to answer that age-old question. Lorenzo Wright is on the platform, opening with 305 kilos. 672
opener
and
for
just
Lorenzo.
Don't blink. Don't blink.
3 white lights. It's good.
So, David, why don't you talk about attempt strategy? You make your opener. Where do you go from there? How big a jump?
Correct. So, obviously, it's going to go case by case depending on the athlete. From a coaching perspective, you got to have certain goals, right? If those goals are you're trying to chase a certain record, if those goals is you're trying to get to a certain dots, a certain total, that's how you make your jumps based off those goals. obviously, if you miss an attempt, you got to adjust your game plan sometimes as well and take that into account. We just had Eric Gardner hit 305 kilos as well, and he has 3 white lights for that one. And now we're going to have Alejandro Wickham jump it up to a massive 340. Which is 749.5 pounds.
I was talking with Alexander before the competition, and I asked him, hey, do you want to do a shout out to anybody? He says, I want to do a shout out to mom and dad back home.
Shout out to mom and dad from Alejandro Wickham. Where's he from?
Dolestown, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania guy. Very nice.
He's lifting in the 140 kilo class. That's 308 pounds. Opening up with 340. That's 700. Well, we'll call it 750. It's 749.5. What's a half a pound between friends? And pardon me while I pick my draw up off the floor.
The speed on that was
yes. Wonderful.
Yeah. Let's just say if you blinked, you probably would have missed it because that was extremely, extremely quickly. All right, up next, we're back up to the top. We're on our second attempts. We have Brandis Dye. Thank you. 187.5 kilos.
So she went up 10 kilos.
Yes.
Which is a typical kind of, usually it's 7.5 to 10 for the women on between the first and the second.
Yep.
For the guys, it might be more like 10, 15, or 10 up to 15 kilos between.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you're wanting to save energy for that third.
Correct. Some athletes like to make, obviously, bigger jumps. They can handle it.
Three white lights on that. She was happy.
Moving on. Kiara Wilson, 200 kilos on the bar.
That's 440 pounds. Her best ever is 205.
Okay.
So she's only 5 kilos off of her best. So she jumped, what, 12.5 kilos
Correct.
between her first and second. So a 5 kilo jump or even a 7.5 kilo jump between second and third is very doable.
Yes.
That'll be a new PR. And wow. Okay, I just need to stop talking because she just executed so quickly with great control. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we thank you for joining us here at USA Powerlifting's Grand Prix event at the Arnold Sports Festival in Columbus, Ohio. This is our 18th year being here at the Arnold Sports Festival.
All right, Nicolette Ziegler. Very controlled on the way down, driving 210 kilos up. The judges say it is good.
So these are our pro athletes. So this is not their first event. They're very experienced. They are knowledgeable about the rules. And so when they come out, they execute. You will very rarely see a failed attempt because they did not follow the rules.
Correct.
It will be just that they're pushing themselves for a new a new victory.
Correct.
On the platform right now is Eric Lapointe. This is a new PR. No, I'm sorry. His PR is
Drive. Very nice.
252.5.
Love it.
Three white lights.
All right, up next, Lorenzo Wright. 320 kilos. That's going to be 705 pounds. Being coached by Heather Foss, who also competed yesterday and also dabbles in some refereeing.
So
Come on,
again,
Lorenzo.
the commands are squat and rack. The referees are watching for depth with the top surface of the leg at the hip joint going below the top of the knee.
Correct.
The knees must be locked at the beginning of the lift and at the end, and they must wait for those signals.
Drive through. Wow.
That's a good fight on his second attempt.
That is good.
And he got three white lights. That may have been a little more work than he expected.
Yes.
So he may not do that 7.5 or 10
Correct.
kilo jump. He may keep conservative and just go 2.5 kilos.
The good thing is he did get counted for it.
Yes.
So he gets to move on if he wants to take a third attempt.
Okay, this is now Eric Gardner on the platform. This is a new PR. His previous best was 320 kilos. This is an increase of 2.5 kilos or 5.5 pounds.
I've had the pleasure of watching Eric Gardner. He's attended a lot of the meets I've hosted, and he is an absolute monster, as you can tell. He weighed in at 97 kilos and just squatted 322.5 kilos on his second attempt.
That was 710.
Judges
This
said
is
it's
his
good.
first year at the Arnold.
Yep.
He's been to nationals 4 times, but it's first year at the Arnold. All right, who's coming up now?
We are going to have Alejandro Wickham. He'll be the last one for the second attempts. He's a big guy. 370 kilos. That is 815 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first 800-plus pound squat.
This is
of
2.5
this session.
This is 2.5 kilos off of his personal best. So that leaves room for the third attempt to beat a new personal record. I think we're going to see it.
Oh, my goodness.
On that third attempt, we're going to see a new
goodness.
personal record.
Wow.
Hey, mom and dad at home, back home. Alejandro said hello. We're going up and we're starting our third attempts for flight E. This is Brandis Dye.
All right, Brandis. Show us what you got.
This is going to be an increase of 2.5 kilos over her personal best, which right now stands at 195. This will be a new personal record of 435. We in in the powerlifting world, when we want somebody to do really well, all we can think of is white lights, white lights, white lights. So we're sending white lights to Brandis right now. Okay, she says she got it. She walked out, and the referees, ×3, says she got a new personal record. Who are we going to next?
So, I want to make a quick announcement before Kira goes. Earlier, I was handed a note from the president of USA Powerlifting about a very special date. And I'm going to bring that up right after Kira Williams.
I already know it.
So you guys stay tuned. Now, I'm sorry, Kira Wilson, 210 kilos.
This is a 5-kilo jump over her personal best. Oh,
good catch from our spotters and loaders, keeping our athletes safe.
absolutely. One of the best spotting and loading crews ever. We've got crews from the University of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
We've got crews out of Minnesota. We've got an outstanding crew from the Ohio State University. They work together like a well-coordinated pit crew.
Correct.
There's one person dedicated to only to keeping the lifters safe, and then we've got 4 people dedicated to catching the weight itself. Hats off, tip of the hat to our platform crew. And hats off to A7, our sponsor.
Yes.
All of our athletes are wearing the A7 logo.
Stay with it, stay with it. Great grind. Nicolette Ziegler. Nicolette, 212.5 kilos.
Waiting for the lights, waiting for the lights, waiting for the lights.
The suspense.
Okay, because we haven't seen lights, I'm going to go. They just came out. That was a new PR by 2.5 kilos.
Very nice. PR is a PR. Competition PR.
Eric Lapointe is our next
All right, Eric Lapointe.
lifter. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 squats left. Then we will finish this out. Then we will take a 10-minute break as we transition from squat to bench press. Please stay with us during that break. We have some really important information to share with you. Eric Lapointe is on the platform at this time, and he's got 247.5 kilos, 545.5 pounds. He weighed in at just under 75 kilos, so his body weight is less than 165.
Wow. 247.5.
Everyone who's lifting in our Grand Prix has earned a pro card, and their placing on this based on dots helps to determine their final placements in the Pro Series.
Lauren's all right. 322.5.
Okay, just as we expected. It was 320 was a little bit more work than he expected. We only anticipated a 2.5 kilo jump, and we were apparently in sync with his coach, and his coach is Heather Foss. So he went up by just 2.5 kilos. So that 320 is over with. Now this is the only lift he concentrates on. Make it happen. He shook his head. Our spotters and loaders stepped in immediately and kept him safe. Let's keep him in the rest of the meet. He's got bench and deadlift to go.
Correct.
Eric Gardner is our next lifter. 327.5 kilos is asked for on the bar. That's 722 pounds. But more importantly, this is a massive 7.5 kilo increase over his personal record. That's 15 pounds.
Wow. Come on, Eric.
And he moved that second attempt, 322, so easily, so fast.
327 is 722.
Oh,
no.
Darn it.
Good effort, good effort.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Alejandro Wickham has asked for 386.5 kilos.
All right, which means he is going for a record, right?
Yes, this is a world record. It currently stands at 380.5 kilos. He's increasing it by 6 kilos. That's 14 pounds.
Correct.
Gino's got the crowd going. Okay, this is 852 pounds.
Okay.
We're just going to call it with that.
Yep.
386.5 kilos.
Stop.
All right, let's watch together.
Oh,
I feel my heart
He's
beating
fired
just
up.
a little bit faster. It's like, whoa, it's a world record. This is important.
World
Let's get it,
record
Alejandro.
for Alejandro Wickham.
Again, the rules are the
At
same.
the Arnold.
Depth, lock the knees, wait for the referee's commands.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Arnold Grand Prix, Alejandro Wickham. Oh my goodness.
Okay, there is one issue. Did the bar go down? And the two-side referees said it did. That is one of the reasons why there would be a no lift. Yes, he did complete it, but unfortunately the bar cannot go down.
Good effort, good effort.
And you can all see it. It stalls out, it drops, and then he comes back up again.
Yep.
We will be going over to a 10-minute break as we break it down from squat to bench press. Hello and welcome to the Columbus, Ohio Arnold Sports Festival with USA Powerlifting, the Grand Prix. So we've just watched 15 lifters do some spectacular lifts, one successful world record, one attempt, and it was so close. So close. And honestly, as a referee, I hate having to do that.
I know.
But in fairness to all the lifters that already have the record, I have to stay with the rules.
That's true.
It's hard,
I know
though.
that, but that's the reality of it.
It's hard, though. Hey,
we need the discipline, right?
Right. We wanted to share a little bit of information about USA Powerlifting. This is the largest drug-tested powerlifting federation in the United States. We started in 1981.
Yes, correct.
Yes, and we do drug testing at every single level. 10% of our lifters, we do not just test a small handful of the elite lifters. No, every lifter is eligible for drug testing. Last year, our membership exceeded 34,000 members.
34,000 in 1 year.
And that's 7,000 up from the year before.
Wow.
We had over 550 sanctioned competitions.
That's incredible.
It is. Our drug testing, we did over 3,700 drug tests. But so let's talk about where we're going. We've got
Absolutely.
some great information about our World Cups.
Correct.
And this is our international competition as more and more countries come on board. And so we've got, our first up is going to be our Masters World Cup.
Yes, Masters World Cup, Memphis,
in Memphis,
Tennessee.
Yeah, Memphis.
So
and
be on
that
the
will
lookout
be
for that.
May 11 and 12.
Correct.
And then the same weekend in two different locations,
Correct.
June 29th and 30 in Wisconsin is the Student
World Cup. Yep.
And in Albany, New York,
That is correct.
is the Open World
Cup.
But we just learned about a brand new World Cup, the World Cup of bench pressing. Would you like to share that?
So Dr. Larry Maley came by earlier in the middle of the live stream, wrote this on a piece of paper for us, and told us to announce the new announcement of the World Bench Cup coming in October 19th and October 20th. And guess where it is? We are going to Lincoln, England.
Lincolnshire.
Yeah, Lincolnshire. But we are ready for October 19th and October 20th.
Absolutely. In the
Very,
meantime, before we have our World Masters Cups, we've got two national championships.
That is correct.
Two national champions. First up is high school, and that's going to be April 4 through 7, and that's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A week later, our collegiate nationals, the most exciting of all of our nationals because of the team sports that the collegiates
Yes.
bring, is going to be April 11th through the 14th, and that's in Atlanta, Georgia. And then about 2 months later in July is the Youth Bench Press and Equipped
That is incredible.
Nationals
We
in
have so
Greenville,
many.
South Carolina.
We have a
And
nationals just about for
we do.
everyone
and
and
our
anyone,
last one,
but they're all spread out, which is
and
All right, perfect.
our
Just
last
tell me
one
when to
is
go.
going to be Raw Nationals. Where?
I don't even know if I'm center.
Salt
Wanna
Lake
come stand with
City.
me?
Salt Lake City, Utah, ladies and gentlemen. Been there yet?
Oh, I can see myself. Oh, am I live?
All right. Well, thank you all.
All
We'll be
right.
back in a couple of minutes.
In 8 minutes,
Yes.
lifting will begin again
Thank
with
you.
the bench press.
Bryce? Are we good? All right.
Arnold, with the Grand Prix competition going on right now, I have Alejandro here with me. Alejandro, how are you feeling today?
Pretty good. Can't
What,
complain.
what are you excited for today?
Everything, basically.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what's your favorite lift? How are you excited? Are you excited for bench, deadlift?
Squat's my favorite lift. Excited for all, but mainly squats.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. Stay tuned because we have lots more lifting coming, and we will be back. That was my first interview of the day. I'm sorry. I'm so awkward.
Lifters have 60 seconds once the bar is loaded to approach the bench, set up, unrack the bar, and wait for the start command. They can take a lift off from the spotting crew, or not, and they can also use bench blocks of various heights that raise their feet if their feet can't touch the ground. Each of 3 referees can give a white or a red light, and lifters need any 2 out of 3 white lights or better for a successful lift. Lifters have to keep their shoulders and butt in continuous contact with the bench pad, and their feet need to be flat on the floor. Once they unrack the bar and are motionless with locked elbows, they'll receive the start command to begin the bench press. They'll lower the bar down to their chest. As soon as the bar is motionless on their chest, they'll receive a press command, where they can fire the bar back up toward lockout. Once their elbows are locked and they're demonstrating control of the bar, they get one last command, a rack command, and the lift is done. The bench press is highly technical, and there are more reasons for a missed lift. A red card is given if the athlete never gets the bar down to their chest. A blue card is given if there is downward movement in the hole of the bar while they're trying to press the bar, or if they have bent elbows at the start or finish of the lift. The yellow card is given for heaving or sinking the bar after the press command, accidentally starting before the start command, pressing before the press command, or racking before the rack command. Yellow cards are also given if your butt comes off the bench, your feet come off the floor, or if you use your feet to anchor against the bench or bench supports. These are the rules of the bench press.
But I trust you completely. Okay.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at the Arnold Sports Festival for USA Powerlifting's Arnold Grand Prix. Starting us off, Ariel Petra. First attempt is good at 77.5 kilos. Next one is going to be Bria Williams, 77.5 kilos as well. My name is David Garcia, and I am joined with the great Kathy Mark-Steiner, who knows everything and anything about USA Powerlifting. Thank you for joining us.
I hope to God I can live up to all of those accolades. Ariel's already completed her lift. Next up, we've got Bria Williams on the platform, same weight, 77.5 kilos, 170 pounds. And Bria is being coached by her brother, Marcellus Williams. She wanted to do a quick shout out to Team Craftsmanship and Lone Star Strength. Now the bench press, there's 3 bench presses. Again, your best squat, best bench, best deadlift combined together for a total, but at the end of it all, we multiply that total times a coefficient, and that coefficient is your DOTS coefficient. And that DOTS coefficient is based on your body weight.
Correct.
So whatever you weigh in, and this allows us to compare lifters across all the different weight classes. On the platform right now is Maya Wright out of Hawaii. And again, Maya, she just discovered powerlifting when her mom got a membership to the nearby local CrossFit. But she always considered herself a non-athlete for the longest time. She found out she's competitive, and here she is at the Arnold Grand Prix. Up next is Jaslyn Pepper.
Jaslyn Pepper West. 85 kilos on the bar for her.
This will tie her R-time personal best. She's opening with it.
She's already
this is tying
her
it
opening with her opener, tying her best. Beautiful.
Three white lights. The referees like it. So let's talk about attempt
Yes.
Attempt changes in bench press. There's smaller muscle groups. There's smaller jumps.
Correct.
What would you?
Obviously, how well did it move? Let's use Jaslyn Pepper West as a perfect example. It moved incredibly well. And obviously, I don't know her strength. Let's make a nice, solid 5-kilo jump at max, which is exactly what she did. She went to 90. Very nice. We just had Maria Bolden, 90 kilos for her.
That's 198 pounds. At a body weight of 55 kilos. So Mariah only weighed in, and she weighed in at 122, but benched 198.
There you go.
Benched 198.
Oh. Yep.
This is the components.
Got it. Charlie Leonard, 95 kilos, very strong bencher, 3 white lights, super easy for her. We're going to move on to Emily Cooker, who, if you remember, she had a grinder of a 175 kilo squat. Unbelievable finish.
I asked Emily before the competition, hey, do you have a favorite lift? And she said, well, it varies. From whatever's going good.
Yeah, whatever's
going good. It's like, okay.
All right.
Looks like bench is going good.
Emily Cooker.
Maybe that's her favorite today.
That might be the one.
So Charles C. Ith is our next lifter at the same weight, 100 kilos, 220 pounds. And again, because of the lot number, she has the higher lot number. Now, that comes big time into play in the third attempt deadlift.
Correct.
On the platform, 100 kilos, Charlotte Ith, 220 pounds. And Charlotte only weighs 141 pounds. That was our last lifter in D flight. We only have 8 lifters in the first
That's
group.
it.
Then we have 7 in the next. So already we're back up to Ariel Patra. And I just wanted to real quick shout out on Ariel Patra's people. She wanted to do a shout out to mom, dad, and her brother who are back home in North Carolina.
Oh.
But also, and she wanted to say thank you to everybody from Cloud9 Performance for supporting her as an athlete. She's on the platform right now. She's got 82.5 kilos on the bar, and this is 181 pounds. She's got a really high arch, so she's got her hips up off the bench, and then she settles them down when the bar comes out of the rack. She's waiting for the lights. She's nodding her head. It was a good lift. This is Bria's first attempt at the Arnold, although her brother has been coaching here for a number of years.
Oh, my goodness. 85 kilos for Bria Williams.
This ties her personal best.
$85 kilos in pounds is going to be 187. Wow.
So that was a good lift. So what the referees are looking for, just as you saw earlier in the rules presentation, they bring the bar out of the rack, they wait with their arms straight, elbows locked. Chief referee gives the signal to start. They bring the bar to their chest. Once it is visibly motionless, they get the signal to press. They press it out. The bar cannot go down on the way up.
Correct.
And then they lock their arms straight, and they get the signal to rack.
Maya Wright, 87.5.
I totally missed it. This is a 5 kilo increase for Maya Wright. She opened with a personal record.
Wow.
And ladies and gentlemen, when you are as light as Maya Wright, she only weighs 122 pounds. 5 kilos, 11 pounds is significant. That's a huge jump.
Here we go. Jaslyn Pepper West. Just like we talked about, a 5 kilo increase for her.
Jaslyn is in the
Beautifully executed.
123 pound kilo class.
She knows it. She's probably going to take, I would guess, a 2.5 kilo jump on the next one, based on how that one moved. Maria Bolden, she also made a 5 kilo increase from 90 to 95. Come on, Maria.
Just to touch base on Jaslyn, she just busted her personal record by another 5 kilos.
Nice.
She went from 85 to 90, and she did it so easily. I cannot wait to see what she does on her third. Mariah Bolton just powered up 95 kilos. That is 209. Let's make it a 210 among friends, okay? So the red plates are 25 kilos, the green is 10 kilos, and then the silver is 1.25 kilos.
Wow. Charlie Leonard will be first, 100 kilos on the bar. Second attempt. Nicely done. That's what the judges say.
Good lift. Bumping up to 105 kilos for Emily Cooker. This ties her personal best.
Correct.
Okay, so with 3 lifts in the bench press, you're kind of conservative with your first. Get in the meet. That's the first. I always have 3 goals. Make weight, get in the meet. That makes make our openers count, and then make every lift count after that. And that's what the lifters are doing. So they're hitting their personal best on their second. That leaves room on their third for increasing that personal record. On the platform right now, Emily Cooker, our junior out of Michigan.
Emily Cooker.
105 is good. So fun fact, Emily was a pole vaulter in college.
Oh.
And she started powerlifting during the COVID quarantines.
Pandemic, okay.
Yes. So she's only been lifting for 4 years.
I will say that a lot of athletes picked up the sport of powerlifting during the pandemic. They just
yes, they
somehow
did.
got drawn to it.
All right, 231 pounds on the bar, 105 kilos for Shawsley Ith. Shawsley's been lifting for 8 years.
8 years now?
8 years now. She's been to the national competition 3 times.
She honestly has one of the coolest garage gym setups. I've seen her lifting videos, and she just successfully got 105 kilos. The judges agree 2-1. 2-1.
She did get 1 red light on that. 1 no lift card. And it was a yellow card, which means that she could have just simply had her foot up. She didn't wait for the signal or something else like that. There are about 8 different reasons under the yellow card. On the platform right now, Ariel Patra. This is her 3rd attempt on bench press. This is moving really, really fast.
Correct. Come on, Ariel.
Big high arch. Down to the bench. Start. Press. She's got that wide grip. Now,
Ariel?
you are limited. You cannot. Your hands cannot go past the 81 centimeter rings that are milled into the bar.
3 white lights. And now we have Bria. She'll be attempting a 90.
Bria only weighs 120 pounds.
Incredible.
She's got 198 on the bar. And this will be a 5-pound increase on a personal record, which currently stands at 85 kilos. You can see Big Brother in the background cheering her on. 3 white lights.
Nicely done.
Up next, Maya Wright, 90 kilos. Now, she opened with her personal best. She added 5 kilos to 87.5. She's not happy with that. She has a third attempt, and she went up another 2.5 kilos. Yep. So Maya Wright, who only weighs 122 pounds, has asked for 198 pounds. 90 kilos.
Maya Wright, ladies and gentlemen, 90 kilos.
That was smooth.
Nicely done. Now, Kathy, let's talk about this real quick. We're watching a couple of these competitors who have what it looks to be an arch on the bench press. What contact of the body needs to be made with the actual flat bench?
Your buttocks have to be in contact with the bench.
Correct.
And as a referee, I'm only watching for, is it on or off? It's like a light switch.
Correct.
You know, is it in contact or not?
Correct.
So once they get the hips down, the butt is down, the side referees put their hands down, they're in the position to receive the signal to start. And so long as I don't see daylight,
Correct.
so long as there is still contact, it's a good lift.
Does the middle of the back, does the rule book say anything that the middle of the back needs to be touching?
No.
Does the low back need to be touching?
Your shoulders, your buttocks have to be in
Yep.
contact with the bench.
We
The
wanna
head can
always
lift.
clear that up. A
the
lot of
feet
people
must
ask,
be flat on the floor.
Exactly. A lot of people always ask, oh, well, they're not flat on the bench. It shouldn't count. That's not
No.
true. According to our rule book, those glutes as well as the shoulders need to be making contact
Right.
with the actual bench.
And by having that high
At all
arch, it
times.
brings that chest up
Correct.
so that shortens the stroke on the bench press.
No lift for Maria, but she will get counted for 95 kilos on her second attempt.
So Mariah, that would have tied her personal best. Now, usually with girls, with women lifters, they usually make their first attempt, they make their second, and we will start to seeing no lifts on the third.
Correct.
With guys, they start pushing it on their second attempt, and we start to see more no lifts on the second attempt. Basically, if you took the number of second attempts for women on their third and moved it over to the second attempts,
Yes.
you would see a very similar parallel.
Yes, absolutely.
On the platform right now is Charlie Leonard. This is 2.5
Driving,
kilos
grinding.
below her personal best.
102.5. The judges say.
Good
it's a
lift.
Good lift.
Let's watch it again. All right, up next is our junior. Well, I thought it was our junior. Yes, it is our junior. This is Emily Cooker out of Michigan. This is a 2.5 kilo increase over her personal best. She currently holds the Michigan State record in Teen 3, 18 and 19-year-olds, and for juniors
Correct.
on the squat, bench, deadlift, and total. And that was not going to move today. She's been to 3 different national championships. 2 of them are collegiates, and then Raw Nationals in 2023. And again, but she only started lifting during the pandemic. That was 4 years ago.
Yes.
4 short, but long years ago.
All right. Chelsea also taking the same weight, 107.5, which in translation to pounds is 236.
This is a little bit less, by 2.5 kilos less than her personal best. Chelsea is from Spokane, Washington, and she owns the Washington Open bench and total record in the 67.5 kilo class. And that was a good lift here at the Arnold.
It's a good lift for her. 2-1.
So when I'm a lifter, every lift is its own lift.
Correct.
I don't think about my opening bench when it's my opening squat.
Correct.
I don't think about my third attempt deadlift when it's my opening deadlift.
Correct.
And I'm sure every one of these athletes follows that same principle. This is the only lift that matters right now.
And if you have a coach, let the coach worry about the other ones.
You just focus.
You just focus on the actual lifting of, just like you said, in that moment. So right now, Kara Wilson, 115 kilos, starting us with flight E.
Leading off flight E. And next up is going to be Nicolette Ziegler with the same weight.
Same weight.
And again,
weight
because
change.
of lot numbers.
Correct.
There we have a determined order. So we call it the natural progression of the bar. You start from the lightest weight and go to the heaviest
Correct.
weight. And when two or more lifters want the same weight, then the lighter lot number goes first. The higher lot number never goes in front of the lower lot numbers. And in third attempt deadlift, when you're trying to make changes and increase your total, that becomes a factor you have to keep in mind.
Correct.
You have to pay attention not just the bar load, but also the lot number. Nicolette's on the platform, 115 kilos. This is 253 pounds. The referees are holding up white cards to indicate, yes, that was a good lift. Brandy Stye. Coming up on the platform, she weighed in. She's in the weighed 168 pounds.
Correct.
Opening with 122.5 kilos. This is 270 pounds. A full 100 pounds more than her body weight. High arch, contact with the bench. Signal to start, down, press, rack, and the lift is over. And now she waits for those white lights confirming that it was a good opening attempt. And so easy. So, David,
yes.
If you were her coach and you saw how quickly that moved, how powerful that stroke was, how much of an increase would you do between first and second for Brandis?
For Brandis?
Brandis.
For Brandis, honestly, I would easily shoot for a minimum of 5 kilo jump, maybe 7.5 for sure, depending on the ultimate goal. Which, oh, here we go. She did a 7.5 kilo jump.
Who's on our platform now? We've got Eric Lapointe. Eric weighed in at 74.67 kilos, or 164 pounds. He's got 155 on the bar. That's 341 pounds.
Woo. 2-1.
On the platform right now, Lorenzo Wright, 187.5 kilos. He's the first of our lifters to do 187. And this is going to be a total of 413 pounds for Lorenzo.
Up next, Eric Gardner.
At the same weight.
Yep, same exact weight, no weight change.
Benches are just flying by. We're already into our second
Yeah,
attempt.
it really is.
I'm sorry, we're finishing up opening attempts.
Wow. Very fast opener for Eric. That's amazing. Love
So
it.
if you were his coach, what would you go to next?
I mean, if I was Eric Gardner, I would probably do, honestly, a 10 kilo, 15 kilo, maybe even, depending on what his strength is for that day. But I would go 10 kilo jump, at least.
It moves so quickly.
It really
All
did.
right. Last opener, Alejandro Wickham from Pennsylvania. Alejandro wanted to do a shout out to mom and dad.
Mom and dad.
So in the bench press, the thumb has to be all the way around the bar. It has to be wrapped.
Correct.
It can't just be in contact. Well, I'd say that was good.
Nice.
Alejandro likes it too.
Very nice.
We're starting second attempts, 120 kilos. I believe that's 280 pounds, 286 pounds. We'll just confirm my math. No, 264. 264 pounds. Kiara Wilson is coming on the platform. He weighs 163. This is 100 pounds heavier than her body weight. Kiara's out of Saginaw, Michigan, and she's only 27 years old. Oh, that was strong. And Kiara wanted to do a shout out to her fiance, Eric, who's here today. This is her favorite lift, bench press.
Bench press, there you go.
Bench press is her favorite.
All right, we're going to have Ziegler. 125 kilos. She has made a 10 kilo jump, which in theory, it's a big jump.
Well, actually, this is a 5 kilo increase over her personal best.
Even better. I like where this is going. So
it currently stands at 120. Again, second attempts. They're getting a little bump over their personal record and saving even more for their third. And, yeah.
Beautifully executed as well.
All right, up next.
That's amazing.
Brandis Dye is going for a world record bench press in the 82.5 kilos. Now, this record was just set in September of 2023 at Raw Nationals. She's asked for 130.5 kilos, and that is 287 pounds. So the rules on world records, you can increase by 0.5 kilos, and that was one of our clues that this is a world record.
World record.
The rest of the time, it has to be a multiple of 2.5 kilos. So let's get behind this. Let's just all sit back, pull out the popcorn. Let's watch this world record.
Oh my goodness.
What is she going to on her third?
Oh my goodness.
What is she going to on her third?
I mean, keep breaking it. Maybe make a 5 kilo jump.
So fun fact about Brandis Dye, She was a gymnast for 13 years. Then she kind of grew out of the sport. She got too tall. And her favorite was balance beam and bench press.
And
Go
bench
figure.
press, yeah.
Bench press is her favorite in powerlifting.
So you're telling me she used to be a gymnast, right?
Yes.
I think the flexibility has come into play and the mobility for that impressive arch. Eric Lapointe, 162.5 kilos.
358 pounds. Really excellent. I think Eric is looking forward to deadlift, which I know he excels at.
Yes.
He excels at it. Excellent pop off the chest when he got the signal to start.
Yep.
Who's up next? This ties Eric Gardner's personal best at 195. So between second attempt and third attempt, what do you normally see are the increases? Are they big or are they small?
9 times out of 10, they become smaller increases. Once you're getting to those third attempts, you're about to push the limit pretty hard. So you very rarely see a bigger increase of a jump from second to third. Very rarely.
At most, it's like 2.5 kilos. Well,
Yeah.
for the women.
Yeah.
For the women. Being one of those.
2.5, 5 kilo jumps for women typically, and anywhere between 5 to 10 for men. But also it kind of depends on their weight class and their ability to make jumps. All right, Lorenzo Wright.
Out of South Carolina.
Beautiful. 197.5.
So just really quickly, we have many different professions that are represented here in USA Powerlifting and our Grand Prix pros. Lorenzo is a physical therapy assistant. But before that, he played baseball. He was left field and center field. And during the pandemic, he discovered that he was a chef and liked smoking and making macaroni and cheese with his dad and things like that. On the platform now, Alejandro Wickham. This is 227.5 pounds, 501. So you saw the bar stop and it started to wobble. Okay, so long as the bar does not go down, it's still a good lift. The bar can lock out first your right arm, then your left arm. That's fine. It's just the whole bar cannot go down. Let's take a moment, David. Let's recognize our sponsors for USA Powerlifting.
So we have a couple of sponsors today. We're going to start off with the A7, who has a booth out here. Matt, if you've been to the Arnold, you know that there's plenty of booths. However, A7 has one of the biggest ones right outside of the USA Powerlifting competition that we're hosting today. So special thank you to them. We also have Rogue. And guess where Rogue is based out of, Kathy? Can you guess?
No idea.
Columbus, Ohio. Rogue is straight out of Columbus, Ohio, just literally down the street. Special thank you to Rogue. Next up, Renaissance Periodization, RP. For all your nutrition needs, dietitian needs, all your type of nutrition planning.
Coach Zach Cooper was really happy with Kiara Wilson's third attempt at 125 kilos or 275 pounds. Nicolette Ziegler is on the platform. And you'll see that there's blocks on the platform is so that they can raise the elevation of the floor to allow her to have a good foot position.
Correct.
The feet must be flat on the floor. So if they can't reach all the way down, we put the blocks in so we can increase the elevation. And we're on third attempt bench press, and this is unfortunately when you'll start to see we're really pushing.
Correct.
And there's smaller muscles in the upper body, so when you fail on bench press, it's because we've exhausted those smaller muscles. We really burn them out a lot in squat.
All right, Brendis, 135.5.
0.5.
Which is another record?
It's another
All
world
right.
record. She's bumped it up by 11 pounds, 135.5 kilos. This is 298 pounds. And again, Brandis only weighs 168. This is 130 pounds more than her body weight. She powered that second attempt at 287 up so easily. And did on that one too. Did you see it?
Brendis. You know what? I blinked and I honestly missed it. It was that fast. Brendis.
And we've got Gino out there to help her celebrate. Yes. Introduce her to the crowd. Gino, celebrate our lifters.
Yes, absolutely. Special shout out to Gino, our announcer out on the platform. All right, we're taking it up to 170 kilos for Eric Lapointe. 170 kilos is 374 pounds at a body weight of 164 pounds.
All right, on the platform, Eric Lapointe.
Yep.
170 kilos, which is kind of funny. His body weight is 164, so it's almost double.
Wow.
In the numbers, 164 pounds. He's benching 170 kilos.
It appears good. The judges say.
Did we see anything or everything
I
was
don't
good?
think he got it. Did they call him on something? Yeah, he did not. I think we're going to have the coach go to the jury. All right, Eric Gardner up next, 195 kilos. He is attempting the same way from his second attempt. Let's see what he's got. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lock it out. Eric Gardner, ladies and gentlemen, came back with a vengeance, 2-1. 2-1.
So
Very
he
nice.
came back from that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on the first one, he was pressing it up and it stopped. And then it came back down. He shook his head,
Yes.
said, no, spotters, take
Correct.
it. And he saved up enough. And this is an example of that lift is over. I'm only thinking about this lift
Yes,
now.
only this one
And
at the
he
moment.
successfully did that. And in my opinion, those are signs of good athletes. You let that go
Yep.
and focus on the next effort. Oh, there we go. Alejandro. No, this is Lorenzo Wright. I see one right card from one referee. I think it was a good lift. Let's watch it. Here it goes.
Yep, good lift.
Press. It stopped. It did not go down. It can always stop. It just cannot, when you are in the process of pressing it out, it cannot go down. So that was 205 kilos that he just did. That was 451.
Okay.
And that was 10 kilos over his personal best. All right, Alejandro Wickham is our last lifter. So this one, he missed on his second. He's trying to get a new personal best, and this would be 7.5 kilos over his best before. So this would be a 7.5 kilo increase in PR. So go get it, Alejandro. Whoa!
Wow. What?
Ladies and gentlemen, you just watched Eric Gardner miss on his second. You watched Alejandro Wickham miss on his second.
2-1.
And both of these athletes are so good. They got it all together.
Absolutely
Let that
incredible.
lift go. And they came back and got that.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to be taking a 10-minute break in just a minute.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us at USA Powerlifting's Arnold Grand Prix. My name is David Garcia.
Kathy
Kathy
Marksteiner.
Marksteiner, yes. Please tell us, let's do a little recap of what just happened on bench press. We just got done through flight D and E, right, for the Arnold Grand Prix.
Yes.
Everybody's pushing the limit. Let's remind everyone, this does not go by weight class. This goes by?
This goes by Dots coefficient. So let's just break that down really easily. You start off with, you weigh in. Based on your body weight, you get a coefficient. And that coefficient is multiplied by your total at the end of the competition. And what this does is it allows us to compare athletes across the weight classes and answer, we hope, mathematically, the age-old question, who's the strongest?
Yep.
Is it the guy doing multiple times his body weight or the guy moving the most amount of weight?
Correct.
And we're trying to mathematically
Yep,
solve that
absolutely.
question. So we're entering deadlift.
Would you say pound for pound? Is that a way of putting it? Kilo for kilo?
I think there's more to it
There's
than
more
that.
to it?
There's
All right,
more
it's a
to
little
it
bit more
than that.
complicated than that. All
It
right.
is a little more complicated because let's use this for an example. If you're the sole solitary person in a weight class
Correct.
versus the winner of a weight class with 100 people,
Correct.
there's a whole big difference
That is
there.
true.
And so you have to kind of take
Yes.
that into effect
Absolutely.
as a factor
Yes.
as well. And so that's part of it. So like we're entering deadlift, final 3 lifts.
Final 3 lifts
And
for
this is
everybody.
where they're going to be setting those dots points.
Perfect.
And the highest dots points win money. A lot,
A lot.
of money. Yeah. So we've got a 10-minute break. We're already 1 minute into it.
Yep.
We're going to take it now. Come
Over
back
there.
and join us.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
The deadlift is a simple and pure feat of strength. Once the bar is loaded, lifters have 60 seconds to begin the lift. There are no start commands and you can begin whenever you like. The lifter has to stand up with the bar with their knees locked, hips at full extension, and their shoulders back. Once they do, they'll get a down command and can guide the bar back down to the floor. Easy peasy. There are 2 deadlift styles. In a conventional deadlift, lifters grip the bar outside of their legs, or they grip the bar in between their legs with a wider stance called a sumo deadlift. Each of 3 referees can give a red or a white light, and lifters need any 2 out of 3 white lights or better for a successful lift. There's a few reasons for a missed lift. It's a red card if they didn't stand all the way up with their shoulders back, or if they didn't lock their knees at the finish of the lift. It's a blue card if there is downward movement in the hold of the bar on their way up, or if they support the bar on their thighs to lever the bar up to lockout, sometimes called hitching or ramping. And it's a yellow card if they lower the bar before receiving the down command, or if they release or slam the bar to the floor, or if they lose balance and take a step by accident. Those are the rules of the deadlift.
You ready?
Hello and welcome back, USA Powerlifting Grand Prix. We're in Columbus, Ohio at the Arnold Sports Festival for the 16th year. And I'm joined with David Garcia, the incredible high jumping coach. I asked him once, what is your vertical jump? And he said 34 inches.
At least 34 inches.
And all I could think of is, I don't think I can get even off the ground. He's amazing on that. Who are our sponsors for today?
Listen, we have multiple sponsors that we want to thank because these events would not be possible without them. A7, always demanding greatness. They got an incredible booth out here. Please visit them. We also have Rogue, who are straight from Columbus, Ohio, so it was an easy trip for them. And then we have Renaissance Periodization for all your nutrition planning needs. Thank you, RP Strength, for all that you do for us. Now let's talk about a couple of future events that we got coming up.
Deadlift is going to be starting soon with Ariel Patcher. We wanted to quickly do a quick shout out to our World Cup series. We've got the Masters World Cup in May, the Open and Student World Cups in June. And then we have the World Cup of Bench Press, which will be in October in Lincolnshire, England. We hope you'll join us there. Right now, we're turning to the platform. The final 3 lifts for each of these lifters. Ariel Patra is on the platform. She's asked for 145 kilos.
Yes.
And this is 319 pounds. Easy. David, would you talk about the different foot positions? And we're doing a replay of Ariel
Yes.
as we talk. She's got the wide foot stance.
So you typically will see 2 different stances when it comes to the deadlift. You're going to see either a conventional or a sumo. Conventional meaning your feet are slightly about shoulder width apart, hands are right outside of your legs. Now then we have sumo, where your legs are much wider and outside of your shoulder width, and your hands are inside of your legs when you're gripping the bar. Now, recently in the last couple of years, we've also seen a bit of a frog stance, if you will, where it's still more of a sumo, but it's just a closer stance sumo. 3 white lights for Miss Williams, 147.5 kilos, and we are moving on to Emily Cooker, 160 kilos.
Emily wanted to do a shout out to Savannah and Juliana. She's only been lifting for 4 years. She's already on our pro circuit. She's a junior, which means she's between the ages of 20 and 24
Correct.
years old. And she only started during the COVID pandemic and was a pole vaulter in college.
She has her sumo stance.
That was 160 kilos, 352 pounds. Maya Wright is going to be our next lifter on the platform at 162.5 kilos, 358 pounds. Maya set a new world record during the squat. 173 kilos. And that was an easy pull. And that's what we're looking for on deadlift. We're
Correct.
looking for an easy lockout
Yes.
with the knees, the shoulders,
Yes.
the hips.
The hips.
When they get the signal to go down, it needs to be controlled. You cannot just let go.
Correct. Deadlift has the easiest when it comes to commands. It's one command, pretty simple. Down, that's after you're fully locked out, and that's it. You can't really mess that one up too bad.
Exactly. Jesseline Pepper is on the platform.
165, easy opener, very smooth.
Deadlift is her favorite and always
She's a fun
has
lifter
been.
to watch, honestly. She brings a lot of excitement.
Who's our next lifter? Charlesy Ith has already gone at 170 kilos. She was successful with her opener, and that's really, as commentators, as referees, we want everybody to get their
Without a
opener.
doubt.
It sets the tone.
Yes.
So between squat and deadlift, where do you think you see the biggest jumps between the first and the second attempts? Will it be on the squat or on the deadlift?
Typically, you're going to see it on deadlifts. You just do.
On the platform right now is Charlie Leonard, 175 kilos. This is 385 pounds. Mariah Bolden on the platform now, and her favorite is deadlift. She says that her problem child in the past has been bench press, but her favorite is deadlift, and you can see it when she does that pull. It's quick, it's snappy, it moves quick. The Rogue place on the platform, the Rogue deadlift jack. Thank you to Rogue for all of their support of USA Powerlifting.
Thank you so much.
We're starting second attempts.
Already. Would you say that deadlifts typically moves the fastest? Would you say that typically deadlifts moves the fastest from a flight standpoint?
No, actually, I
Do you
think
feel bench?
bench press
Okay.
does, because you have so many athletes that typically take the same weight.
Okay.
And with deadlift, when you have to change out the big
The bigger
plates, whether
plates,
it's
yep.
the
Fair
25
enough.
kilo or the 20 kilo, you need the deadlift jack.
Yeah.
Now, while it might move slow, our spotting and loading crew is so excellent. They
Great.
move quick. They're like a trained Indianapolis
Absolutely.
Raceway pit crew. They are so good.
Ariel Patra, second attempt at 157.5. It is good, and we are moving on to Bria Williams, 167.5 for her.
On the platform right now, Bria Williams. Now, let's talk about her foot position.
Yes.
She's got the narrow position, and that is
A
the
conventional stance. Hands will be roughly right outside of her where her legs are.
would you say about shoulder width?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good starting point.
All of the lifters are required to wear long socks up to the base
Correct.
of the knee. Little fist bump with her coach, her brother coming off the platform. Up now, Emily Cooker, 170 kilos, 374 pounds. This is 10 kilos below her personal best. The bar did not come off the platform, so the referees give a yellow card indicating that it was a no lift. So you'll see a red, a blue, or a yellow indicating the lifter completed the lift but did not meet certain aspects of the technical rules.
Correct.
And so the referees hold up the cards to show that. Jasleen out here doing her favorite deadlift. This is 172.5 kilos, 380.
Maya Wright, 177.5, which is 391.25 pounds for Maya Wright.
So Maya chipped the world record for her weight class
Yes.
at 173 kilos. She's in the 56 kilo class and bumped it to 381. So she's walking away from this competition with a world record and taking it back to Hawaii. Moving up to Charlesy Ith, 180 kilos, 396 pounds. Charlesy's been lifting, powerlifting for 8 years.
Oh.
a great example of a conventional stance
Correct.
with the hands at about shoulder width apart
Correct.
and then pulling up.
So, as you could tell, we're already almost done with our second attempts. We're down to our two final lifters of Charlie Leonard and Maria Bolden. 185 kilos and then 187.5. Oh! Slipped right on out. Maria. Raya.
The bar slipped right out of Charlie's grip.
I have just been informed that this is Mariah.
Next up is Mariah Bolden. So it's interesting. Mariah's baby brother was in powerlifting, and she was also a pole vaulter in college.
Really?
She got injured,
Oh,
and the
these pole
competitive
vaulters.
drive was still
Yeah.
so strong, it brought her to powerlifting. And deadlift is her game. She also did track and field. She ran the sprints, the 100, 200, 400, and the 4x100s, 4x relays on all of them. And also did cheerleading. Darn those multi-talented athletes.
I will say quite a few of them do excel very well in powerlifting. When they have a
Absolutely.
background in other sports. Seems to be quite the trend.
Right. Ariopatra, our final lifter. This is a 2.5 kilo increase over her personal record, 167.5 kilos, 369 pounds.
Come on, come on, come on. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ariopatra.
She is really happy about that.
It's good. 3 white lights for her.
You know, to go what you had said, a lot of the powerlifters have been athletes in other sports.
Yes.
Ariel is a good example. She was also a Division I rower as well as playing lacrosse.
What a beast. She is a beast. And then speaking of a former athlete in another sport, we got Emily Cooker. She is going to retake that 170 keys. And let's hope she gets it.
Sending
her-
white lights wishes.
Yes.
No belt. All Emily Cooker. No belt. 3 white lights. She came back. She got it.
Wow.
I'd like to go back for just a second. Ariel Patra,
Yeah?
she won the golden prize of 9 for 9 good lifts. We never say anything early because we don't want to
we don't
jinx
wanna
it.
jinx it.
You know,
We
I'm
don't
very
wanna jinx it.
superstitious
Yes,
about
I
that.
fully agree.
Don't mention it. But I can talk about it after and
Yeah,
celebrate.
as soon as it
Yeah.
happens.
All right.
Now, Jaslyn Pepper West taking a 5 kilo increase to 177.5.
This ties her personal best. So we clean the bar on the third attempts. We get rid of any baby powder,
Correct.
any chalk.
Correct.
We'll wipe it off. So every lifter coming out on their last attempt, when it's their ultimate final effort, the bar is clean and it's the best position, best condition
Yes.
it can be
Yes.
for each athlete. On the platform right now is Charlie Leonard. And, oh no, she lost it again. She lost it on the second attempt.
Should
and
be
she
counted
lost
for
it,
her
but-
first. So,
Right, she did get credit for her first, so she does have a total, and more importantly, that dots total.
yeah, absolutely. So let's
Because
talk about
at the end of the day, and at the end of our Pro Series final, which is
Correct.
on the next session,
Correct.
starting at 6 o'clock p.m.,
Correct.
we've got those lifters, and these lifters are somewhat competing against them too. On the platform right now is Charlie Ice. This is a 2.5 kilo increase over her personal record.
Come on, yes, she's a grinder.
Conventional
she's a grinder,
style.
ladies and gentlemen. 187.5 kilos. The judges say it's good. 3 white lights.
9 for 9.
9 for 9.
9 for 9.
Great attempt selection there.
Got a big hug from her coach, Jeff Cohen. Jeff competed yesterday.
Yeah, and guess who was coaching him at the meet?
Charlize?
Yes.
Awesome. Back
I
and forth.
witnessed it, so that was pretty cool.
Final lift for Bria Williams, 187.5 kilos. This will be a 5 kilo increase.
Okay.
And look at the increase between her second to her third, 20 kilos.
Wow.
She went 20 kilos between her first and second and third.
Let's hope she gets it. She's got to give it everything she got.
I think deadlift is her favorite.
That seems to be a moneymaker here.
She's currently sitting in 4th place based on dots. This successful lift will put her in 3rd place.
Let's go, Bria.
We've got 11 women that are competing against each other through all of the weight classes.
She's a grinder. Yep.
There is nothing like watching an athlete
I love
celebrate
it. Yeah,
a
it's a good
toughly
lift.
fought lift. That is pure celebration. All right, up next, Maya Wright,
Yes.
who set that world record on her squat in the 56 kilo class, bumping it up to 130.5 kilos. She now sits, 173, 381.
Correct. And I want to bring this to attention. If successful, she moves from 3rd to 2nd.
She'll switch with Bria.
Correct.
Right.
Maya Wright, ladies and gentlemen. Maya Wright, ladies and gentlemen. Maya Wright. 187.5. The judges say it's good. She takes 2nd.
And that was a 5 kilo increase over her personal record. So she went from 402 to 413.
Correct. Now, Moriah Bolden, she's currently in 2nd. And she is forecasted to be in 1st if successful with this 3rd attempt.
This is 195 kilos. This is 429 pounds. This is a 2.5 kilo increase.
Kathy Mark Steiner, what
Yeah.
do you think?
If I was sitting in the
It's
chair, I'd give it a white light.
good!
That was a 2.5 kilo increase over
She
her
has
personal
jumped to
best.
first
That
place
puts her
on
in
dots.
1st place on dots. Yeah. But wait, there's more.
We have another flight that's going to throw a couple of things in the mix.
We've got 3 more women.
Yep.
And the only reason we do not have their dot score is because we don't have an opening deadlift
Correct.
yet.
Correct.
So the scores may change. We just found out Mariah's record, her lift at 195 was a new American deadlift.
All right, Brendis Dye just opened up with 187.5, making it look smooth. 3 white lights for her.
And Brandon set a new world record, not once, but twice. 2nd attempt and 3rd attempt.
Yep.
Bench press is her favorite, and she showed it, but she's still bringing it on deadlift.
Correct. Now we have Miss Wilson, 190 kilos.
And that was an example of the sumo style deadlift The foot position is wide, but the hand position is still shoulder
Correct.
width apart.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter. Narrow stance conventional or sumo wide,
Correct.
it's still, the hand positions are basically shoulder width
Correct.
apart. Because when you start going outside of the shoulders, now you have to shrug
That
the
makes
bar
it a little
back in.
difficult, yes. All right, Ziegler 227.5, 227.5.
So the name of the game with opening attempts, succeed. Get the lift. Get the lift.
Lorenzo Wright.
Lorenzo Wright on the platform right now. And Lorenzo is a physical therapy assistant back in South Carolina. And a good lift for Lorenzo.
Yep. Alejandro Wickham. Now, here's an interesting thing I would like to throw out there. Well, actually, I'm going to wait for Alejandro to go, and then I will bring this up. Alejandro Wickham, 300 kilos. Solid.
So what's your question?
All right, here's my thing. In the last, for squat and bench, we've been seeing Lorenzo Wright, Eric Garner, Alejandro as your final lifters. However, Eric Lapointe, one of the lightest guys, has all of a sudden moved to second to last. He's got a monster deadlift.
Monster deadlift.
302.5 kilos.
This is 666.
Number of the
Gino's
beast.
out there sharing with the audience right now. But when
Solid
David is
opener.
talking about the
Beautifully
fact that Eric
executed.
is one of the lightest lifters, he's only weighing 164 pounds. This is 500 pounds heavier than his lift, than his body weight.
Yeah, and his body weight.
500 pounds heavier than your body weight. So he weighed 164. He deadlifted 666. I'm sorry. It's 502
2 pounds.
pounds heavier than his body weight.
Every pound counts, right?
Yes, it does.
Eric Garner, 305 kilos, which is 672 pounds as an opener.
Everybody's on the board. That's what we want to see. We're already done with opening deadlift.
That's
We're
it.
moving on.
Moving on. Second attempts, 202.5.
202.5, 446 pounds.
We're good. We got Brandis, 202.5.
And Brandis set a world bench press record. She's happy with that deadlift.
Yep. All right, here we go, Wilson. 205.
On the platform right now is Kira Wilson.
Kira Wilson.
This
Solid.
is 205.
205. It's a good lift. 3 white lights. We're going to add on another red. Ziegler's about to head on out. 237.5.
All right, on the platform right now is Nicolette Ziegler. She is our final lifter in the second flight, in E flight. She's got 237.5 kilos, 523 on the bar. And the placings are already starting to roll in as far as the dots are concerned. And again, just a real quick recap. When you weigh in, your body weight provides a coefficient. And that coefficient multiplied by your total gives you a DOTS total. And that DOTS total allows us to compare lifters across all the weight classes. And that was a good lift for Nicolette. Next up is going to be Lorenzo Wright, 660 pounds. That's 300 kilos.
Wow.
Now this is a lot below his very best personal best of 322.
322
is his personal
Okay.
best, so this is way below that.
Now, it's getting interesting. All of our men are now in the 300s for attempts
Yes.
on deadlifts. This is some real man weight.
Well, you might say that, but when I put the big plates on in the gym, I call them the big girl plates.
Big girl plate. Here we go, 300 kilos. It's a good lift for Lorenzo Wright.
Yeah. I put the big 45s on bench
There you
press. Let's
go.
put the big girl plates on. Yeah. I did good.
All right, Eric Lapointe. making his jump.
315 kilos.
Yep. 315
694
Whoa,
pounds.
right
And
under
again,
7.
his body weight is 164. So this is 500 and now 30
30
pounds.
Yeah, 30 pounds.
530
Yeah.
pounds bigger than his body weight.
It's impressive.
Would you say he likes deadlift?
Excuse me?
Would you say he likes deadlift?
Yeah. All right, Eric, let's see it.
Wide stance, double overhand hook grip. Pushes those hips in towards the bar, pushes the shoulders up. Nicely done.
He's got some crazy long arms. He knows how to use them. 3 white lights.
That was textbook execution. On the platform right now is Alejandro Wickham, 325 kilos. This is 716 pounds. Second attempt, he's coming
no weight
out.
change going into Eric Gardner. 325 and going straight to 325 again. All right, Eric.
Now, Eric jumped 20 kilos between first and second.
Correct.
Eric Lapointe jumped the smallest, only 7.5 kilos, but I mean, he's still 500 pounds over his body weight.
Correct.
And that was a good lift for Eric Gardner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our final 7
All right, here we
deadlifts.
go. Now we can start talking about where people are going to be placing, where they're currently placed, and where they can possibly end up depending if they're successful. So, starting us off with Brandis Dye, she's currently in 5th place. If successful with a 212.5 kilo third attempt, she will be jumping up 2 places to the third top 3 spot in the women's for the Arnold Grand Prix. So she is trying to jump from 5th to 3rd, ladies and gentlemen. She wants this top 3 placing. Let's see it.
And currently, Kira Wilson, who is the next lifter, is currently in 3rd.
Correct.
That would change all of the positions.
Here's where you begin to play some mind games with being able to change attempts. Some people don't know all the rules about it.
Oh,
Come
I'm
on,
not
Brandis,
sure. I'm
stay
not
with
sure
it.
she got it. The bar looked like it may have gone down. Let's wait for the referees.
But it's good.
It's a good
Three-way
lift.
line.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Okay, so now Brandis didn't go from 5th. She went to 2nd.
Wow.
It was that much of a change. Up next is going to be Kira Wilson. She's currently in 4th. And when she is successful, notice it's when,
Yep.
not if, when, she will move to 1st place.
So first place. Currently holding 519 dot score, a 519. And she's trying to jump up to 531. Let's see it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Kira Wilson.
Coach
Kira
is
Wilson.
celebrating in the
Kira
back.
Wilson. She's in 1st, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay,
she
so
is in 1st.
how did this all change? Kira Wilson went from 2nd to 1st, and she bumped Mariah Bolden, who was in 1st place in the first flight, to 2nd place. And now, even though Nicolette Ziegler is the last female,
Correct.
her dot score would keep her in 6th place. So 1st place will be Kira Wilson, and then Mariah Bolden, based on Dot's formula. 3rd will be Brandis Dye. Then 4th is Maya Wright. 5th is Bria Williams. On the platform right now is Nicolette Ziegler, 242.5 kilos, 534 pounds. Nicolette has been to 2 different 3-lift national championships, as well as the bench nationals, and this is her 3rd time at the Arnolds. This blows her personal record out of the water.
Out of the water.
It was 235. This is 242.5. 242.
What do we think?
Let's see what the referees say.
Referees say it's good.
Good lift. New
Three-way
personal record. 242.
She held
yes.
All right, Lorenzo Wright, currently in 4th place by dots. If successful, he will jump to top 3, 3rd place, being coached by Heather Foss.
So how would it change? It would change with Alejandro Wickham,
Correct.
who is currently in 3rd place. He would bump him to
Correct.
4th. But Alejandro Wickham is lifting later.
So
that's where that strategy and
Exactly.
deadlift comes into play. He's got the ability to increase it and change that dot
Correct.
score. That's where the natural progression, the load on the bar,
Stay with
and
it,
your
Lorenzo.
lot
Stay with
number
it.
makes a difference. Come on, Lorenzo. Come on, lock it out.
Lorenzo
Lock it
Wright,
out.
Heather Foss watching. The judges
Let's
say
see
it's
what it
good.
says.
3-way line.
Good lift. Okay, he's moved into 3rd place.
And now we're going
And
to
now-
see maybe an attempt change, perhaps.
Eric Lapointe is in 2nd place.
Correct.
And even when he makes this, no matter what anybody else does, he's got 2nd place on points. If Alejandro
We have seen, yes.
Alejandro did exactly what I thought. He changed. He would have been the next the next lifter after
Correct.
Eric, and he changed his attempt with the strategy. The body weight gives you the coefficient times your total gives you your dot score.
Correct.
He had to change
Correct.
the final deadlift to increase his final dots total.
Eric, full point. The lift is good.
The lift
Three
was
white
good.
lights.
That was, okay, 322.5
Wow.
kilos, 710 pounds. That's 550 pounds
Incredible.
more
Incredible.
than his body weight.
Incredible.
550 pounds higher than his body weight. Did we say that Eric Lapointe excels a deadlift?
I would say so. I
Yeah.
would like to say so. Very.
Oh, this changed. That moved Eric into first place. Eric Lapointe is in first place with that total. Up next will be Eric Gardner. Eric Gardner is in second place.
Correct.
If he makes this, he switches places. He switches places with Eric Lapointe.
With Eric Lapointe.
Okay, so
Eric
the
for
Erics
Eric.
can change.
It's good. It's 3 white lights. We have switched one
Okay.
Eric for another.
First and second places are set
It's set. Eric Gardner claims first.
on his last pull.
Wow.
Last pull. But he had to change his numbers in order to do that, right? Okay, so up next, our final lifter, Alejandro Wickham. He's in the same position. He's in fourth place.
Correct.
But he had to increase his
Lorenzo
third
Wright
attempt
bumped him
deadlift.
out. Now he's trying to bump out Lorenzo Wright.
When he gets this, he switches
Correct.
with Lorenzo Wright. So Lorenzo Wright, in our sport, you're standing over to the side going, get it, get it, get it, even though
Correct.
he would beat you.
Alejandro Wickham
It
gave
did
it
not-
everything
it did
he
not
had.
move.
He will
Whoa.
remain in fourth.
And Alejandro
great
had
day,
to
though.
sit down
Yep.
because sometimes when you have all that pressure, the heart just says, oh,
Correct.
I need a
Oh.
break. Well, that was just awesome.
Absolutely
Okay,
incredible.
I've got to stop and take a moment.
Yes.
There were four athletes that went 9 for 9 today. Ariel Patra,
Of course.
Sharcy Ide, Maya Wright, our world record setter in squat,
Yep.
56 kilos, and squat is her favorite. Brandis Dye, setting those world records.
Keep going.
Hi there and welcome back. We were just celebrating our 9 for 9 athletes, and that would be Ariel Patra, Charlize Ide, Maya Wright, who set this world squat record in the 56 kilo class, and Brandis Dye, who set 2 world record bench presses today. And they went 9 for 9, making
9
every
for
lift.
9. And now that she's touched on the 9 for 9, I'm going to touch on your first place winners. Because once again, this is by dots. So, in the women, we had Kira Wilson with a dot score of 531.858. Congratulations, Kira Wilson, on your performance today. And for the men, bumping out one person after another, a heated battle at the very end on deadlifts between 4 different people. We had Eric Gardner coming out on top with 530.278. Congratulations, Eric Gardner. Well deserved.
And those last 4
That was
deadlifts
incredible.
were the positions were changing
Yes.
all over the place. It was exciting.
Yes, thank you so much. What final thoughts?
Thanks for joining us. This was exciting. Join us again at 6 o'clock tonight when the rest of our Pro Series finals comes on to play. and they will amaze you. The incredible Jennifer Thompson is coming, and she's going to be competing. She already lifted yesterday. She's lifting again today. I think she's lifting again tomorrow,
Absolutely.
too. But our best pros are coming up at 6 o'clock. Join us here at the Arnold Sports Festival in Columbus, Ohio.
My name is David Garcia.
Kathy Marksteiner.
Thank you.